What is going on out there, Culture Junkies? It's your boy Kenshiro. We're back with another great episode of Culture Junkies Live. Today is a somber day in America, but your boys are here to keep you company and to restore some of that geeky joy in your lives. So without further ado, we're going to be introducing who's going to be on the show with me today. GQ, the Great Dadakuji, and a few other guests will be joining me later. How you doing, guys?
Doing well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm hanging in there. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot to take the yellow thing off, didn't I?
Okay. What is up with that?
It's
what is
the
up
government is looking at your computers all the time, and they're watching you work, they're watching you do stuff, and I'm going to make sure they can't see me.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't understand why it seems like I'm so goddamn close to the thing. It seems like it's zoomed in, and I don't know how to fix that. It doesn't seem zoomed in when I look at my little screen down here on our Hangouts. It seems like it's normal, but here it just seems like my head is just, I don't know what the hell's going on. Anywho, hi everybody.
But doesn't he sound GQ like crazy conspiracy guy in his basement? Like the government's always watching me. My camera is always on, so you know I don't want them listening in on my phone conversations. That kind of stuff. Do you sound like that guy?
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, for me, my camera's not on until I plug it in. So
right.
There's a difference there. And then secondly, only thing they'll see is my awesome wall of greatness behind me and my Dragon Ball statue.
I mean, it's
like with you, all they're gonna see is a bunch of Post-it notes. So they might come knocking down your door thinking that you got some kind of crazy mad bomber plans or some shit.
I might just keep my computer turned off.
They're probably watching me do something.
Right, they're super nerd. Although he be getting down to some miscreant, some scumbag kind of stuff, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He just called you a scumbag just out the blue, just cause.
He knows he's a scumbag. Come on now.
Wow.
He knows it. He knows it.
I have a good heart.
Yeah, he knows it.
I wouldn't take that, sir, being called a scumbag. I don't know.
Shit, he knows it.
Miscreant, deviant, I don't know.
Yeah, miscreant, deviant. He knows exactly what he is, man.
I do a bunch of shenanigans. There's a bunch of shenanigans I do. I'm hilarious.
Right. Yeah, he knows what's up.
But you do realize what a scumbag actually is used for, right?
Do tell my good friend.
I mean, it's like lower than a refuse bin, man.
Oh, man.
Like, you let him blow you all the way at the bottom.
Well,
Yo,
it's very scummy.
You see what Lena put in the chat? Yo, Scumbag Jones, that's hilarious, dude.
Hey, Team Scummy.
Wow.
Yo, that don't even sound right, man. That don't even sound right. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my God, it's raining like crazy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think I need the Star-Lord from Infinity War. I don't think I need that. So I'm good.
Oh, so he out here. He's shopping right now. He out there shopping for. Is this a sideshow? Or is this a Hot Toys?
It's well, they're the same company, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's the Star-Lord from Infinity War. It's going to be coming out. Actually, no, it comes out next year. But I mean, out of all the Guardians, matter of fact, the only Guardians of the Galaxy Hot Toy representative I have is Thanos in his armor with the throne. I don't have any of the Guardians as Hot Toys right now. Like none of them.
Yeah, like who would even be worthy to get?
Nope. Gamora honestly looks like a glorified green Barbie doll. The original one, the original one they came out with just looked like a painted up Barbie doll. I mean, it looks just like her, but I mean, it's like
I'd say something for what's her name?
Right. I'll say what's up to Sam Champion over in the chat on Facebook. What's up, man? How are you?
Hello, Sam. How are you?
How you doing?
Can I just say? Can I call us the Wu-Tang Clan of nerds?
No.
The Wu-Tang. Who is the Wu-Tang Clan of nerds, man?
Us, because it's like 10 of us, damn near. Our crew is big.
Oh, you calling us the Wu-Tang Clan of nerds?
Is that the Wu-Tang Clan wasn't that big, though. I thought it was like
no, they're not. It's like what, like 5 or 6 members?
No, it's not. It's 10 members. What are you talking about?
RZA.
There's only 5 that you really know about.
Ghostface Killer, ODB,
RZA,
Inspector Deck, Master Killer, You God, Method Man, Capadonna.
Was Redman in there too?
Raekwon, no, he's unofficial, but he's official.
Okay, hold on. So you got Method Man, which everybody knows. You got RZA, which everybody knows. Ghostface Killer, which everybody knows. And then the other ones you mentioned, I've never even heard of.
Oh,
this is what I'm talking about. See?
Chinese restaurant.
This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah,
exactly what I'm talking about.
Disrespect is so real.
Disrespect.
It always will be.
Right.
For real, when people think of Wu-Tang Clan, they think of those main members like ODB, Method Man, Method Man, Ghostface Killer, and RZA. That's pretty much the extent of it. Most people can never name anything past that. Raekwon. Okay, I apologize. Raekwon. So they know those 5 people, and that's usually about it.
Yeah, but it's still 10 of them.
It's still 10.
No one remembers You God. Inspector.
What's up, the Fallen Marvel? How you doing, my friend?
How you
I'm doing all right.
Good.
Again,
I'm doing all right. I stumbled into some Wu-Tang conversation.
You
man.
did. So jump right in, because here's the funny thing. Super Nerd is trying to say like that people remember all of the Wu-Tang Clan like they remember, more Autobots beyond Ironhide, Optimus Prime, Ratchet. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but not everybody is hardcore fans. So that's
right.
where,
that's
again,
true. That is very true.
My point is, I feel like it's a bunch of us as a collective. We're probably the biggest nerd group, as a collective that's in our group. You know what I'm saying? That's why I took that. Oh, and also I thought about doing a skit. I want to redo the Killer tape, but use it as a whole geek shit. That'd be dope. If you know the Wu-Tang skit.
Okay.
Which one?
Right.
The Killer, we talking about the Killer tape. He said, where's my Killer tape at, son? Where the fuck's my Killer tape at? So I was like, yo, I switch it and flip it on. So where's my Killing joke book at, son?
So basically, you just gave away the entire plot of your skit on.
Right.
I didn't say I was gonna do
so
it.
So what's the point of anybody watching, right?
I don't care.
Yeah, like look, Earth, Wind. Apparently, Earth, Wind, and Fire had a lot of members as well, but people only really remember the main 3. There's supposed to be a bunch of members. Like I only knew of the 3.
I don't remember anybody out of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I just know that they're a group.
Maurice White. He's like one of the only ones I know. I know Maurice White. That's it.
Man, whatever. That's like literally trying to have somebody name all the Temptations that have ever been.
Right. Ever.
That's not gonna happen.
Right.
Like for real, in all honesty, if you think about most groups, and again, like you said, unless you're a hardcore fan, most people don't know the members of all of a group. They just don't. Right. Like NWO is an exception because they were like one of the first groups like that. So yeah, everybody remembers all the members of that. But like Wu-Tang is like, again, out of those 5, okay, not gonna happen.
Stacey D's checking in. What's up, man? It's been a while.
It's like trying to get the entire roster of Seekers that are out there for the Decepticons. Everybody only remembers Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp, and then eventually they threw in their Ramjet, Dirge, and Thrust.
But nobody really remembers them.
All the other ones, Acid Storm and Sunspot, and all the others, nobody knows them.
Nope.
Only way you know that. The only reason I even know them is because of Daitakuji and the Masterpiece line that we was chasing down, collecting stuff. That's it. Other than that, nope.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to remember.
Somehow I don't really believe that. Maybe that's just me. I don't.
There's a lot of freaking Seekers, man. It's like the Coneheads.
I don't know. Listen, the Seekers. I don't ever remember them mention the Seekers until like later on in the Transformers of lore.
Yeah.
Well, in all honesty,
they've been there since
exactly, but Seekers actually is an unofficial title made up by fans.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well there you go. Because I remember the first time I heard Seekers is when Transformers Prime came out.
Wow. Oh,
and that's the first time I heard Seekers.
That's the first time?
Okay.
That's your first time?
I never paid attention to it.
Okay,
well, I don't remember the ones. I just remember the ones like Thundercracker, Starscream, and what's the other one?
Skywarp.
Right. And then, like you said, Dirge and Ramjet, but the actual name being called Seekers, I don't think I don't remember that.
Again, like I said, that was
the leader.
Yeah, exactly. Starscream's the leader of the Seekers.
Right. So Hand of Omega is like saying, I can name all the Decepticons. Like, okay, whatever. Sure. Okay. All right. Sure you can.
Matter of fact,
sure
hold on. So here's his first test right here without looking it up. What are the names of all the parts for reflector?
Like he's got like 3 seconds to do it. Just type it in.
He's got to still be able to type, but yeah, if you can start with that, then we'll go from there.
Let's see, if he takes longer than like 2 minutes, he used Google and copied and pasted it.
Yes,
so you're right.
You're slow.
Right. Yeah, you didn't answer. You're too slow.
Right.
Yeah, you're too slow. Too slow.
And there's the break.
Yeah, too slow.
Like that.
Sure.
So anyway, it's been a while, Fallen Marvel. How you been, man?
I've been pretty good and getting myself back on my square, and I'm here now, and I feel like I am as much on my square as I'm going to be. For those of you that are still keeping count, I'm going to be a father.
What? So, this man is leveling up into fatherhood. That's like the final frontier that GQ will never ever go on. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
GQ?
I mean, unless y'all want the end of the world to come into place in my first
this dude Tony Young is over on Twitch. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm going to say.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say Tony Young is over on Twitch because he says his Facebook got hacked. Like, what? Your Facebook got hacked. Like, bro, what you do, man? Somebody probably reported your ass for being rude, something like that. I don't know.
Could possibly be.
Could be that.
Yeah, because he wasn't here when the show started, so that's unusual.
No, he was not, and that is unlike him, Mr. Top Fan, Mr. Look! He typed it in Spectral Spyglass Viewfinder. He took too long. No. He Googled that.
Google.
Yeah, he Googled that. No way. And Lena's chimed in. Jerobi, Q-Tip, Five Dog. That's Tribe Called Quest.
Right, she just named it.
You just randomly throwing shit out. Like
she's listing off like groups that she knows all the names for.
Okay.
Sorry for a slow. This is at work using my phone. Sorry for the snowiness. I'm at work using my phone. Whatever. I ain't buying that. That's some bull. I ain't buying that for a second.
That's fine. I
ain't buying that for a second. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, dudes. So, this past weekend, the Titans Season 2 premiere dropped on the DC Universe app. Of course, if you're not a fan or you're not a member of DC Universe, you may or may not have collected it via other means, but in any case, a lot of people watched it. And, I put my review up on culturejunkies.net right now. So you're gonna go read it, and you can go and read it. I'll put it in the chat for you guys to peruse at your own whim. But I kind of wanted to bring this up because last year when Titans first came out, it wasn't very well received for more than a few reasons, valid or invalid, depending on who you were talking to. But I kind of wanted to kind of poll the group for those of you that watched Titans Season 2 already, like myself and Daidakuji, we watched it, and I wanted to ask, did the Titans Season 2 premiere restore your faith in what the show could possibly be? Fallen Marvel, did you happen to watch it at all?
I did not. I had no idea it even premiered. So
it premiered on Friday, so go ahead and check it out. So Daido, you watched it. And I want to get your perspective, seeing as how you're less of a comic book narc, reader? I guess. So,
don't get me wrong. I'm gonna have to reiterate every single time. I do like comic books, but when it comes to the major ones, Marvel and DC, that's too convoluted for me to start unless I get some of those graphic novels. Again, still don't know where to start because there's a million stories, and regardless of that, going on to the Titans Season 2 opener, it was something that should have been the season finale for Season 1, 100%. Because when I watched the season finale of last year, I was like, how you gonna end up on a freaking cliffhanger like this? And then when they finally watched the opening episode, Season 2's episode 1, they literally I mean, I don't even see them do this in anime. A lot of times they usually wrap up a story. They should have wrapped that story up so season 2 could have been brand spanking new of what I assume everybody else wanted out of season 1 is them being the Titans, because that's something that was not in season 1 at all. I don't know how many people out there watched it. If you want to call it a spoiler, go ahead. There was an adventure that was happening, and it involved characters that apparently later become Titans. And apparently the Titans already existed. They broke up for some whatever reason. I don't know why, because they didn't really get into that. Robin has his issues, which apparently he squashed with Batman, the dude from Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name. He looks
Ian
straight
Glenn.
up. Ian Glenn looks like he was freaking channeling Adam West 100%. He, like, just the way his mannerisms, the way that suit coat he was wearing, reminded me of Adam West. Not saying he was trying to go for the Adam West, because I'm pretty sure he's trying to be a more serious Bruce Wayne. But regardless of that, the whole thing, hopefully from now on, will show them, I guess, getting a new team together, going to do things together as a team is what I'm looking forward to, because I was a fan of was it Unlimited? What was it called? Teen Titans. The
Teen
original
Titans
one. No, not Go. I don't watch too much.
Young
Go?
Justice.
Young Justice, excuse me. Yes, I'm very sorry. Young Justice I really liked, and I think that should be kind of the way they should go in regards to the teamwork and the story and all that other stuff. I think they should kind of go that way. They probably won't, because it's trying to be there was a lot of F-bombs dropped in that first freaking episode of season 2. Like, seriously, I count at least 4 or 5, and I'm like, wow, like, seriously, I don't think they dropped that many F-bombs in the comics. But
They didn't.
Never in the
They
comics.
didn't. Never.
Yeah. But I
do
look
that.
forward to it. I look forward to seeing it, because I do enjoy watching comic book-based TV shows, especially when they hold my interest. The first season, kind of, because I wanted to know where they were going. I want to know where they were going. I found out where they were going. I think they should have. I don't know if I want to talk about who that was, because there's so many people. Anyway, Trigon.
Yeah.
I think that he should have been something down the line. Like, seriously, because he's supposed to be really a powerful being, from my understanding. And they kind of took care of him pretty easily. I'm just like,
and I'm kind of glad you say that. So I'll kind of give my 2 pieces on it. And much of your feeling kind of mirrors mine a little bit. Because, I was never, okay, let me start over. Even in my review that I wrote, that's on culturejunkies.net, shameless plug. Not shameless really at all. I have no shame in that regard. So in my review that I put on the site, I even list that, full disclosure, I was not a huge fan of season 1 for a pretty simple reason. I said it's because for a show that's supposed to be about a superhero team or people that aspire to be superheroes or heroes in general, they all seem to be fairly miserable, or even outright didn't want to be heroes at all, which was very jarring, because it's like, I spent much of the season not liking almost any of them, like in any aspect. Like they were not likable people, none of them, for various reasons. They were not likable at all. So and plus the story seemed pretty uneven, up and down, and it just you didn't know where it was going. But to your point, Dido, the whole Trigon thing, it kind of felt like he was wasted, especially after you watch this episode. You see Trigon in his demonic form for all of 5 minutes.
He walked
and
across the lawn. He walked across the lawn.
Yeah, he walked across the lawn, and Raven goes out and says, boop, you're done. And that's it. And I'm just like, okay, that was very anticlimactic. Like,
Budget
they could have.
constraints.
Yeah, dude, because it was like, but obviously it was budget constraints. Because, in the CG they used was pretty bad. He looked good when he was standing still, but in motion, it was kind of.
It's I saw the screenshot that you shared in the article, and it really does. I think when it comes to that, it really does seem like there's a lot that worked against the show because they just really needed to get it out in whatever and try to have it be the flagship and all that stuff. And it's kind of a shame because I know like some of the effects that some of the Raven effects in the early season kind of looked like iffy here and there, and you get it's just like for something that's supposed to be at least somewhere near higher than normal broadcast television effects. It really didn't seem that much of a difference. And with it being, I'm assuming that they shot this series like with higher quality cameras. And unfortunately, like it's certain things that kind of stick out whenever they try to use special effects and it just doesn't mesh well. And and that was, and just to piggyback off your point, as far as the hero aspect of the first season, it was off-putting that the fact that a series that is based on younger heroes who are legacies. Granted, like none of the legacy characters are in the show outside of Robin, but it's like that whole feel of it wasn't even there. And then every time they tried to circle outside something else, it always winds up circling back to Robin. Like as far as a story point, it was like okay, they maybe centered on a person here and there in maybe 1.5 episodes, but it always circled back to Robin. It's like they might as well just call the show Robin at this point. So that's kind of how I felt with it. But I mean, seeing that there is some hope for the second season, I'm just kind of just check it out whenever I get a chance. But I'm not in a hurry, honestly.
Well, I'll put it to continue, right? So even in my report or in my review, excuse me. I said that the first act was largely forgettable. Like I was so glad when that first act was over, and I'm sure Dado felt the same way, because it was like the whole Trigon storyline was just a drag. All of it. All of it. That entire thing was a drag. It really was.
Yeah, it was. I was they did seem like they wrapped it up fast, and I looked at the timer on the thing and I was like, all right, is this gonna be the end of the episode? And lucky it was like a half hour left. Of episode. I was like, good, they're actually going to be doing something, and something else. Yeah, they kind of are setting up the next season with them actually going to get the Titans together. What it seems like, the thing that I don't quite understand, because again, since most of my media came from the television and not the comics, was Robin, meaning Tim Drake or Jason Todd or what have you, and Nightwing. Both Titans at the same time?
Tim Drake was not a Titan at the same time as Nightwing. Jason Todd never joined the Titans in the comics, so that's a divergence that they did before, because when when the possibility of him joining the Titans kind of came up, the Joker had taken a crowbar to his head, so he couldn't do it. Like, Batman realized that this kid was, probably out of his control, and I think he probably might have wanted him to go to the Titans for a little while. He might have, learned a little bit more from kids his own age that were heroes, and maybe some of their better impulses would have rubbed off on him, but he never had the opportunity. So I say that to say, with after it moved past the first act, Esai Morales' Slade. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That right there, I was like, I wonder if they're going to call him Slade or they're going to call him Deathstroke. That's what I'd like to know, because I know they call him Slade in the original Teen Titans cartoon.
Well, they did mention that they said Slade Wilson even in the trailer. They didn't say Deathstroke. They said Slade Wilson's coming.
It's like I think the reason why they didn't really use it in the cartoons because it was designed for kids and the name sounds too violent.
Deathstroke sounds kind of
It sounds a little too violent for a kid's television, so just call him his real name, Slade. So easy peasy.
Oh, but, look, it's the birthday boy, Mike Riley, checking in. How you happy birthday, my friend?
Yo, what's up?
But yeah, the Slade Wilson stuff was really good. I liked. I did like, as much as I detest the notion of an older Batman and Ian Glenn being Batman. I was not a fan of him being cast. the little discussion that he had with Dick in the show, I liked that part. I thought that talk was very good. And then, you know, of course, the end when they moved on, and they kind of reached their final destination, which was San Francisco and reopening Titan's Tower. I thought that stuff was a great tease for what was upcoming for the season. So for me, a little bit, it kind of restored my faith a little bit more, because I felt like they were finally shrugging off, you know, some of the stuff that made season 1 kind of controversial and maybe even not very good. Because I'll be honest, the first act of this season premiere was like a microcosm of everything that was wrong with season 1.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the fact that they even cut this episode out as the finale of the first season, to me, was still a weird choice. Yeah. It's like on one hand, like I think I see what they were trying to do, but I don't know. Like it just didn't make sense for them to cut that out. But I guess seeing as they essentially solved that whole problem within like a few minutes, that they basically use 11 episodes dragging out with the whole Trigon thing, and they just wrap it up in the final episode. And okay, but I don't know, like I just hope that they get the balance part of the series right going into the season, because that was like one of my other issues with the first season, is just nothing seemed to balance out. Everything moved at a snail's pace. It's like I get you have to have character development, but it's just like it seems so jumbled up. It's like it's like it didn't know what it wanted to do. It's like either you wanted to be a Titan show, or you wanted to be this
something
edgy,
darker,
this edgy, gritty
Watchmen style.
It's like it keeps going back and forth and not really having a clear balance. So hopefully they start to balance it out with this season and kind of just, you know, try to get away from like all the edgelord shit.
You know, I'm gonna bring up something, and Dido, I want you to kind of jump in, because you actually saw the episode, so you can comment on it as well. But this was one of the things that really bothered me, and probably even bothered you, Fallen Marvel, about season 1. Remember when Trigon in the earlier part of the episode, right? In the earlier part of the episode, he was like, after he had kind of turned them all to his side, and he confronted Raven. He was like, "Yes, you're too late. Your friends are all murderers. They've given in to their darker impulses." And I said, well, they kind of already were murderers. Because remember earlier in the season, in that one episode when, you know, they got captured by Trigon's people and were going through the psychological torture. Remember they turned on the gas and Robin was like, "Light them up." I was like, "What?" I was like, wait a minute. Y'all gonna kill all them people that's in that hospital? What are y'all? I thought y'all was trying to be heroes. What is this? No, man. I had a big problem with that.
That seemed like it was quite out of character, specifically for somebody who's supposed to be with Batman. And I mean, I guess the struggle that that Robin was supposedly having is that he didn't know how to, deal with the violence. I don't know, but I mean, if Batman never killed anybody and he was still being violent towards his criminals, that would be something that he would have taught. But, you know, again, in order to be edgy, you got to kill somebody, right? So
yeah, it's just a lot of things. Just felt like it was just out of character too soon, and again, like it just felt like it was just edgy for the sake of being edgy with no real structure to it. It's like even the Jason Todd episode, like with him just flipping out and just decimating a whole group of cops that did nothing to him. Right. It's like, what sense does that make for you to beat the shit out of a bunch of cops that was there to help somebody that was being held hostage? Agreed. That makes no sense.
Right.
You know, especially being somebody that's a protege of Batman. How does something like this happens under Batman's nose?
Exactly.
Come on now.
Now, Sharita's right. It does sound a lot like Red Hood would do some stuff like that, which is true. He Red Hood would probably do some stuff like that because he's more edgy. So maybe it's obviously that might be a little bit of foreshadowing. But I say this, I digress. The season 2 premiere, the first part of it was bad. The rest of it was pretty good. Kind of restores some faith. I'm looking forward to what's coming up next. So
that's something.
Yeah. So now the next news of the day kind of came out yesterday. Apple TV's kind of throwing down the gauntlet. They're entering the stream wars fully on. They unveiled kind of some of their lineup. Jason Momoa is going to be starring in a series, a short series called C. You've got the return of Amazing Stories, which was a great anthology series from back in the 80s. And then of course you've got this other show. I think it was called. Trying to remember what it was called, but it's starring Haley Steinfeld. But there's also the morning show with Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell, which is going to be on their show. So honestly, some of the stuff doesn't really sound tantalizing. So I want to ask you guys, can Apple compete with Netflix and Disney in this arena? And if they can't right now, what do they need in order to compete? GQ, we haven't heard from you in a while. What do you think?
With regards to Apple, Apple's got a lot of money, so I mean they definitely can compete, but it's a matter of content. So I don't know exactly what their content's going to be, or essentially what they want to do with this Apple TV. So we'll see. But I mean, if all they're doing is jumping in and offering, channels that other people are already offering, then what's the point? But who knows? I mean, they got enough money to come up with a lot of content, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm looking at some of the offerings that they have that they were showing. Like, they've got Apple Arcade is also coming along with it to be packaged on their Apple TV, but I can't really see that also being very enticing either. But as far as like some of their TV offerings, they've got an Oprah show, the Haley Steinfeld show, Dickinson. Something they probably should have kept to themselves. And another project from M. Night Shyamalan called Servant is on there. We got a Sesame Street show esque show is going to be on there, and something called For All Mankind, along with Snoopy in Space. Now, honestly, a lot of this stuff doesn't really appeal to me. I'm sure it'll appeal to somebody, and of course, the Apple narcs will buy it just because it's got the Apple logo on it. But if you guys all agree that they can't compete, what do you think it would take for them actually to compete?
Tell you one thing.
Yeah.
You know what it has to be? Like GQ said, it has to be content, because as of right now, they have not mentioned a one show that I would care to watch. They could be great shows, but it's not anything there that's going to say like, oh, you got to watch this. Oh, I got to, pick this up. Because number one, if Apple continues to stick to their only putting the stuff out on their products, they're not going to get a lot of people, because though iPhones are extremely popular, they still don't have as many handsets in people's hands as the competition, because there's a lot more manufacturers that put Android on their phones. So they are going to have to put their thing on either an Android TV, like the NVIDIA Shield, which from my understanding is the best set-top box that you can get, because if it's just on that stuff, if it's just for people who are in the Apple universe, it's not going to take off unless they do something out of the blue and buy a movie studio to give them original programming, or movies that you can only catch on there. Like, for example, Disney, you can always get Disney stuff on their Disney stuff, and Netflix has deals and they have their own original stuff, as well as Amazon and Hulu. Actually, Hulu kind of, but if Apple say they buy someone like Sony, that might help. But they still are going to have to be, it can't be like Blu-ray versus HD DVD. It can't be, because I'm not buying an Apple set-top box to watch anything that's coming. It's not. Right. I'm not doing it, because I got A PlayStation does a set top. My Xbox is a set top box. Right. I got all the stuff over there that are set top box. I got this right here that has all the apps on it. And I have a Chromecast that I can just put it on my TV, and everything is there. So if they come out with something that entices me, and I can put it on my phone or my PlayStation or my Xbox, blah blah blah, then maybe they got something going.
Well, to your point, the app will be available on select Samsung smart TVs. In the future, it's coming to Amazon Fire TV, LG's, Roku's, Sony's, and Vizio platforms will support either Apple TV app as well. Apple said.
I have to get a smart television.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
my TV's dumb right now.
But here's the thing. I mean, it's you're literally, you just listed off Oprah TV, like Oprah. Like Oprah ain't gonna Oprah ain't gonna sell me on no service, man. It's like for the first time ever, like I'm considering getting a streaming service because like they're about to kill it with The Mandalorian and Loki's show and Scarlet Witch's show and Falcon and Winter. It's like you're giving me stuff that I actually have straight up true interest in over there on the Disney Plus. Gargoyles is about to drop on there, so it's like,
my man,
it's like you're bringing it's like that right there is a lineup that's like, yeah, that's worth $8 a month or whatever it's gonna be. You're talking about the Oprah show and some others. It's like that. What? Oh, no, I don't know Oprah. Right. It's like, come on, man. And again, who knows? Maybe they'll come up with something interesting, but whatever, they're going to have to come up. They're going to have to basically come up with something like 10 times better than Disney Plus for them to even be in the conversation.
In the ballpark. I feel you. I feel you. Now, they are offering the service at $4.99 a month, which is a very competitive price. That's true. That's very true.
I can offer. You know what? I'll offer my streaming service for $1.99 a month, but you ain't gonna have no content. So how about that?
So Lena's in the chat, and she is making the argument that Oprah sells to women, and women are a large buyer of their services. Services. So
that is sometimes true. And you know what? At the same time, when the guy that makes the money that woman gets her particular services through, and he decides he goes down that list and is like, hold on. Apple TV. Apple TV. You mean hold on, you talking about that streaming service that got the Oprah show? Oh no.
Cut that.
That's gotta go.
Cut it.
That's gotta go. That's $4.99 a month. That's just going to nothing right now. Right. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. You know what? Matter of fact, we're cutting off Lifetime too. So you're like, come on,
Hallmark Channel, all that out of here.
Hallmark Channel's gone. So
yeah, out of here.
Come on,
just
now.
Get it out of here.
Now, granted, there are plenty of women out there who do, and in fact, sign up for and pay for their own services. However, usually in most households, the men folk handle the entertainment side of things, and I think Apple TV is going to be on the chopping block in a lot of households. Just to let you know,
I ain't getting it.
Yeah.
Well, I can say this. Nobody's gonna fuck about that shit.
Hold on. Wait. Look at this backlash. It is 2019, Miss Sharita, and women take care of the bills sometimes. Sometimes. So if the guy is making the money that those bills are being paid for, now granted, I'm not saying that that's always the case. However, there are plenty of times where that is the case. And Apple TV is on the chopping block. Just to let y'all know. Matter of fact, if you're talking about what year is this?
Where's my tea?
Where's my Hassenpfeffer? But I mean, you talking about what year is this? Oprah is. She got a lot of power still, but like, when's the last time Oprah really been like hitting like that? I mean, she got Oprah. Her
it's all about Ellen right now.
Exactly. So I'm trying to understand where's the mass appeal.
I don't know. Women still get Google Gaga over Oprah, from my understanding, because
oh no, they do.
I mentioned Oprah, a woman that I work with, because she always talked about like watching the Oprah show and blah blah blah, and I was just like, if Oprah said this, you'll do it, and she always laughs because
and again, 10, 15 years ago when she had her show and she took down the beef industry with like one show. Hey, granted, but I
mean, you get.
She
a
doesn't
car,
even have her
you get a
magazine
car.
anymore, from what I understand.
Everyone gets a car.
Right.
You
I mean,
know.
eventually, at some point, like, I'm trying to understand, like, how is that still a draw?
I mean, look, all I'm just saying, all it just really looks like to me is that they got to have something out there for the Apple cores out there.
Yeah, that's fine.
For folks that partake only in Apple products. Why would you do that to yourself? I never know.
Well, hold on now. I like my iPhone and my iPad and my iPod, so I'm good.
mean,
They do that what they're supposed to do.
More power to you. More power to you, but you know, just in case they start throttling in your devices for you to upgrade. I'm just saying, but you know, either way, more power to you.
I look at it this way. Every company actually can do that, and whether people really want to admit it or not, they're always going to be. It's just like the automotive industry. They build them to fail, so you go get another one.
Which is kind of crazy, but like, did you hear? I don't like. This is just like still talking about, but like I remember hearing something about how they actually had something or whatever that Apple had something with the devices where they could still record like everything, like still like record audio through your devices no matter whether you like are using it or not. And they said they actually have files of recorded audio of like a bunch of stuff from people that have Apple products.
I'm sure they do. But at the same time, it's like they can do it on Apple, they can do it on Android, they can do it with anything. Let's just be realistic.
They sure can, and probably
but they the ones that got caught, which makes me think that their security protocols aren't up to code. I don't know, but I mean, honestly, it's just like when I even heard the Apple TV thing, I just like, I don't know, like nothing about it is appealing to me. Like I just don't see the point. They're like, there's too much good stuff that's already out there, and it's like you're kind of late to the game at this point.
Did you see what Lena said here? She says Apple should team up with Disney. No, Lena.
Troller.
No.
Troll.
You know what we want, Lena? We want Apple to buy Sony. Not the whole entire company, but Sony Pictures.
They're pictures. Mm-hmm.
Just Sony Pictures. That's what we want. Because Apple gets some quality stuff. They get friggin' their own movies that'll be on there. They can help produce movies since they have a lot of
James
money.
Bond. They get
a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Spider-Man goes back to Disney.
Correct.
AKA Marvel. Correct. We don't want Apple to work with Disney.
That's right.
We want Apple to buy Sony.
That's right. That's what we want. So go ahead, Apple, make it happen. You know, because you need the help. Obviously, you need the help.
If they getting into the streaming, the TV service game,
they need the help.
Best bet right now.
Sony would never. Oh, okay. Do we have to have this little talk about Sony would never? It's not about Sony would never. Sony ain't gonna have no choice because most of the reports are saying that Apple would just do a hostile takeover. They just take them. So here's the deal, right? How is it possible? Sony Pictures is very financially weak. They're not strong. You realize that, right?
Yeah, I knew they weren't shit, but I mean, hostile takeover.
Yeah, hostile. That's how weak they are. Like literally, they were.
Damn.
Those leaked emails were kind of showing how precarious their position was in the first place. Why do you think they went to Disney? Why do you think they went to Disney? They couldn't make a profit. They didn't know how to make a profit off Spider-Man. They did not know how to make a profit off Spider-Man. Their James Bond franchise was very up and down. Like Casino Royale was well received. Quantum of Solace was kind of a turd. Skyfall was pretty well received. And Spectre was not nearly as well received as Skyfall was. And then you've already got James Bond 25, which is already kind of somewhat mired in controversy because of the black female 007, which is nonsense, I might say. But if that movie fails, where Men in Black International has already bombed the fuck out of the theaters, the last Ghostbusters movie they tried to put out was trash. and got bombed out of the theaters. They don't have a great track record. They're not really turning a lot of profit. They're not. So that's why they're weak.
Let's also not forget, this is just based on the quality, their majority black casted thrillers that they released through Screen Gems. That's also Sony.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you guys essentially remember movies like Obsessed and When the Bow Breaks, or
what was it? Was that Gabrielle Union movie? One of theirs. That Gabrielle Union movie, was that one of theirs?
I think so. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Was that run of movies with Michael Easley where he's playing like crazy obsessed stalker dude?
One.
That's them too. Okay, yeah,
yep, that's another one. Yep,
just saying.
If it's Screen Gems, yes, that's Sony.
Mm-hmm. Just saying. Sony is not very strong. It's not very strong at all. Their IPs aren't very strong. So they're ripe for a takeover. They are.
This is right here, just doing a search on the internet. Granted, this article is from Reddit. It's from December 18th, 2018. But the magazine Variety, or their newspaper, whatever, predicted that Apple will buy Sony Pictures in 2019.
In 2019.
I don't know if that happened. It did. Excuse me. Not know if it happened. It did not happen yet because we only have a few more months left in this year. But there was a lot of predictions. January 15, 2019, Sony takeover predicted as big tech buys up. It could still be something in the books. And like how we were talking about the Disney thing that was going on, what was released to us was probably a done deal a long time before it got out into the public. We don't really know, but it could have been. And you don't know what's going on in the closed doors. That's happening right now because there's tons of things that you just search it. Rumor, Apple to buy Sony. Rumor, Apple may acquire Sony. It's just, but they also say or Disney. That's kind of ridiculous, but regardless of that. Sorry. I guess they could because apparently they're the first business that ever made $1 trillion, but still have $1 trillion in bank. Because you still got to pay everything and financing, all that good stuff. So, but they could most definitely buy Sony. It could happen.
Yeah, they could. It absolutely could. And I, for one, as a Marvel fan, am looking forward to the day, because I think it might happen. Anyway, so moving right along. So, did y'all hear the news? Right, that. Face Off is supposedly getting a remake. Face Off, not the sci-fi TV show, but Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. One of the better movies of the late '90s, I might add. That movie was fantastic. If for Nicolas Cage's performance alone, if for Nicolas Cage's performance alone, that movie is a classic for me.
The man name was Castor Troy.
Castor Troy. That was the dude. Was the man? He was the man. I loved Castor Troy. He's crazy as hell.
He told a person, "You healed." Who says that?
Wrong. That
was
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Did you really ask him that question?
It is.
What did he say in the beginning? No.
No, because he said that because Angelina Jolie's character says you look like you're a Bible salesman. Because he met up with her in the bar that she worked at because he was trying to recruit her for the job.
Yes.
Okay. So what the beginning of Face Off when he was in the
that was when he was
the priest outfit.
Yeah, and he said something creepy.
No,
he said something freaky, probably to the girl.
He said, "Why is it?" He's talking to the young girl, and he said, "Why do I find the the Hallelujah so fucking boring?" Or something along those lines.
Yeah, right before he grabbed a handful of her ass.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And made the face that I have right there on the title card. Yeah. The face is priceless, dude. The face is priceless.
All I have to say is that look.
No,
when it comes to Hollywood, nothing is sacred.
This is also very true. Nothing is sacred in Hollywood. The Stand is getting remade again. you know, with I think Alexander Skarsgård just got cast as one of the main characters in The Stand, in Stephen King's The Stand, which I think is going to be what, the third remake or the third iteration of that.
Can we get a Silver Bullet remake?
Yeah.
Honestly, look, I just feel like just on the strength that this was a John Woo film, I really feel like it shouldn't be touched. Just on the strength of that alone, because John.
Yo,
Woo,
man, you remember Castor's guns? Remember how dope them boys were?
That's what I'm saying. It's like that, just on that alone makes me feel like they shouldn't touch this.
And like even that opening shot where he stepped out of the car and his trench coat just billowed back in the wind. How cool of a shot was that? That was the coolest, dude.
That was probably like the smoothest scene like ever.
For real. That was smooth as hell. Anyway, so I say all that to say, who wanted this? First of all, which I'm pretty sure we all can admit the answer was no one. But
not a damn
beyond
soul.
that, who should be in
movies?
it? Yeah, beyond that, who should be in it? Who should be in Face Off?
I'm still tripping of all movies. They picked that movie of all movies. They could have picked fucking, I don't know, Demolition Man. I don't know.
No,
You better not. They better not. They better not ever. They better not ever touch Demolition Man.
Of all movies, that's just like one of the odd movies to pick was fucking Face Off.
Yo, man.
That's
so
what I'm saying. It's like,
first of all,
forehead of security over there, man. You looking like the forehead of security over there, like Tony.
I mean, for real, dude. Like, can we see your face? Like, you shy or something? Because all we see is your forehead. And yes, you.
Oh, I'm sitting on the couch.
You sitting on the couch, but all we see is your forehead in a brick wall. Oh man. Anyway, guys. So I asked.
Sharita is no.
They better not make The Last Dragon either. Nope. Better not do that either.
You know, I don't know why I remember. Remember when that rumor was floating around when they were supposed to be doing a remake with Nick Cannon?
Oh my!
Oh no, I don't remember that. No, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
For a while.
I remember the rumor, but that would be terrible.
No, that would have been terrible. That would have been way worse than
like cast Samuel L. Jackson and show enough and shit.
Nope.
That was hilarious.
Dude, like, come on.
Absolutely not.
No.
Hey, trust me. Some things should just stay as they are. I mean,
yes, some things are timeless, just like they are, and they should stay that way. So, if they're gonna do this, which obviously it seems like they are, who should be in this movie? Like, who could take the place of John Travolta and Nick Cage in this?
Luke Evans and Gary Oldman.
Okay, the Luke Evans part I can maybe get with. The Luke Evans part I could probably get with, but Gary Oldman, well, I guess Gary Oldman because he is the faceless man. He can literally be anybody.
All right. Okay. In all seriousness,
mm-hmm.
Remember that movie that came out with Chris Pine and I think it was Tom Hardy, Spy vs. Spy? It wasn't called Spy vs. Spy. It should have been called Spy vs. Spy, but it wasn't. They had to change the name at the last minute.
Oh yeah, weren't they competing over a girl or something like that?
They were competing over a girl. Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's terrible. But
it's like you need to pair up some actors like that because I think that's why Travolta and Cage work so well because like. Yes, they were basically playing each other in their own weird, goofy kind of crazy sort of way. But I think you need two actors that are slightly similar, but also you can see them like one dude's playing like the straight-laced policeman, and the other dude is just crazy. So I can see I can see a Chris Pine and then a crazy Tom Hardy, but and then flip-flopping.
I see that.
Or I could see like a what is that actor's like a Chris Hemsworth. And somebody else that could be a match for him. I don't know who that would be at this point, but I mean, or even heck, put him and his brother in there, Chris and Liam Hemsworth, in Face Off.
You know what would be wild for a Face Off concept? They switch faces with a black guy and a white guy somehow, some way, and they make it work.
Dude,
that would be wild. That would be wild.
Do you want this movie to tank before it even gets out of the?
Yes, I do actually.
Okay.
I do actually. Yes.
Okay, Sharita's got a good opinion on this one. Channing Tatum and John
Cena.
Oh no!
His name is John Cena.
No.
Channing Tatum and John Cena. That's wild.
You just made me want to drive out to the desert, shoot it, and bury it. At this point,
That would be hilarious. I think that would be hilarious. Sharita's onto something right there.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
I will pass on one forgiveness token and a blessing off of your Apple TV conversation for that comment right there.
You know what? No, like I'd rather go back to just having Gary Oldman in a movie and put Willem Dafoe as his counterpart.
No. Oh, whoa. That's actually not bad because
Gary Oldman and Willem Dafoe.
Hell yeah. It'll be a more geriatric version of Face Off, but I mean,
it would, but might not be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Watch somebody say. Oh, you know what? That wouldn't be too bad. Some people probably would say Idris Elba and maybe Will Smith or some stupid shit like that.
What?
Somebody would say. I
can't even imagine Will trying to be Idris. That would not work.
No, because the thing is, Will doesn't do accents very well. So I don't. Granted, it's like they wouldn't have to, but at the same time, it's like No.
Actually, hold on. Gerard Butler and Russell Crowe.
Hey!
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Hey! Yeah, I can see that.
Or back in the day, remember how there was everybody used to confuse Bill Paxton? Hold on, not Bill Paxton. Was it Bill Paxton? Bill Paxton and one other dude would always get confused with each other. It was a couple actors that are like that. Or Gary Busey and Nick Nolte.
You know
yes. I think that would be funny.
Yes,
people
that would be
mixed
funny.
up anyway, and then you mix them up. I think that'd be awesome. Now, obviously, Bill Paxton can't do it because unfortunately,
you know what's funny?
Yeah, he's no longer with us, right?
I watched Drop Zone a couple of weeks ago, and that shit had me dead with Gary Busey.
So,
dude, Gary Busey and Nick Nolte. Could you imagine the crazy?
Yeah, that would be wild,
dude.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild.
I'd watch that based on Nick Nolte's performance at the end of Hulk alone.
Yes,
just to see how ridiculous he would be, man.
Yes, because you imagine the first part of the movie. Would you have Nick Nolte be the straight laced cop in the beginning of the movie, and then flip and have him be all crazy as shit afterwards?
Dude, both of them are crazy. So I don't.
I know. I'm just saying, who would you start off being normal?
I would start off with I would cast Busey as Castor Troy. I would cast Busey as Castor just to mess with everybody because Busey's already crazy enough as it is. So now you got to tone him down when the cop takes his persona. I think that would be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny. Now,
Lashana Lynch and the area Garrett. Okay, all right. I see you. I see you over there. Alec Baldwin and Will Ferrell.
She wasn't serious.
Okay.
She couldn't be serious.
Meow Yen needs to stop drinking that.
For real. First of all, she said Amy Schumer and Melissa McCarthy. What?
No.
What?
Hey.
Luke Evans and Scott Adkins.
What? Okay, the Scott Adkins, but who else?
Wait, Luke Evans, Scott Adkins. That could be interesting. But the thing is
someone said the Rocket Tyrese.
Dude, they wouldn't even be.
What is wrong with you?
They wouldn't even be able to work together, man. They wouldn't even be able to work together. Because I can see it now. It'd be so many antics on set. Because I can see it now. They get ready to film, and Tyrese finds his trailer up on a cliff somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
just cause they just
Rockin' Vin Diesel. Rockin' Vin Diesel.
No, they skin tones are too far apart.
Too drastically apart. Okay,
once he heals, you could do Rock and Kevin Hart.
I think the height difference might have something to do with that.
The height difference
hold on.
Too vast, man.
Hold on. Meow Yen, we didn't say nothing about my man what is his name? Cavill. We didn't say nothing about Henry Cavill and Luke Evans. We said Scott the Batman Atkins and Luke Evans. That's what we was talking about.
Trash ass and Luke Evans. Wow. The disrespect. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
I know. She doesn't know how great that man is. It's a shame.
She needs to watch Ninja and Ninja 2 right away, along with Boyka.
She does. Now hold on. Now speaking of Cavill, you could put Cavill in there with somebody. Henry Cavill.
Yes, you could. But it has to be someone that has at least similar build to him.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth. His diet hair black.
Hey,
No.
No. Put him in opposite Jason Momoa.
Who? Cavill?
Yeah. Because they're both similar build, but
They are similar build.
But that would be an interesting face-off transition. You gotta give Cavill a tan.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would have to give him a tan, or make Momoa be like stay all the time indoors, like for months, like no sunlight. Period.
Right.
Yeah, no sunlight for like weeks and weeks on end. Anyway, yeah, that probably would appeal to the ladies if they did that one.
Channing Tatum and Keanu Reeves. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Like
No,
what?
No.
Well,
How about Keanu Reeves and Jason Statham?
Hey, so John P is like
that'd be
John P
interesting.
said Owen Wilson and Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. Okay, now do you just really honestly want the most awkward and weird movie in the world?
Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson.
Oh
They all
God!
in movies
No,
together.
stop. No, stop.
Man.
Come
Yeah,
on
they
now.
Word, but
Money Train, White Man Can't Jump. It might be a little bit of a skin tone problem trying to steal one person's face with the other.
Yeah,
Might
So, I mean,
be.
this is Skosh.
just
Hold on.
split
Hey.
the difference. Just split
So
the
wait.
difference. Wesley Snipes and Michael Jai White.
No,
The age difference might be a little too much.
it's not
But
even
how
the
about
age
this?
difference. It's not
Yeah.
even the age difference. It's
The
as
build
much as
too.
Michael Jai White is my dude, and damn it, he still owes me my Black Dynamite Cowboy movie or whatever the hell that's supposed to come out.
Yeah, what
Damn it.
happened to that?
Hey, can we get that movie first, man? But
Right.
it's like it's no disrespect to him, but it's still a disrespectful comment. I don't think he could do it.
I don't know. I was just throwing it out there.
So how about this? Then?
I know his acting range is pretty limited. So
They've already been linked more than a few times. They've starred in a couple of movies together. And I know they're older, but because they're older, their body types are a little bit more similar now than they were earlier. So what if they did Arnold and Sly?
With all them tattoos that Sly's got, I don't know if it'll work.
Oh,
makeup
could take
what
care
if
of
they
that.
switched
They
it
could do
up? What if they switched it up and did like? I mean, someone already like tried to get the idea if it was two females. Like, what if we did like badass like face off with female actresses? Like, what two females could do it?
Yeah,
Now, Sharita
hold
just
on,
put
hold on.
out Lena Headey and Headley and Charlize Theron.
Okay, here's the issue. Here's the issue. As soon as you put female characters in there, it's going to be all sorts of backlash talking about face off. There's going to be facelift memes. It's going to This is not even.
The idea's already dead.
This
The idea's
is
already
gonna be
dead
messed
now.
up. Yeah, it's just gonna be messed up. Like they will skewer that movie because for one, they ain't gonna know the history of it and know that it was a John Woo film that was awesome back in the day. The first thing they gonna be thinking, why you gonna put two females in there switching faces with each other? That's just so sexist and this and that and all that. Not knowing that, like,
You're
damn it,
not.
this movie
You
is
are not
awesome.
wrong.
Not only that, they're gonna body shame it because remember in the movie, the one with John Travolta and Nick Cage, they actually had to lipo his love handles and whatnot. So you know full well you got two female characters that are gonna have different body types. They are not gonna let that one rest at all.
Yeah, they just like
at all.
basically try to just cut that out, just have someone with the same body type and be like, okay.
Sharita, the women will not behave. I'm just gonna be 100% honest.
I mean, it's a tough one, man. It's like I really don't see how you'd be able to get two people to really complement each other to pull something like that off. That in itself, the original was just such a memorable movie. It's like, why even try to you can't recapture that. Like, there's no way you're going to recapture that. It's just, Like,
And the crazy thing is, it was the first time I could actually take Nick Cage serious.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, I mean, it's not like you couldn't before, but it's just.
Oh, no. Nick Cage is very hard to take serious. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think it just depends on the movie. Because, I mean, obviously he was kind of known for like the little awkward movies and stuff early on, like Raising
you know what, matter of fact,
even though it was entertaining, but yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and put something in the chat that shows why I can't take Nick Cage serious. So I'll let y'all keep talking.
I mean, honestly, for me, like, it's been hard for me to take that man seriously since The Wicker Man. So I've tried to get that man chances since, and it's just like between Ghost Rider and Wicker Man and whatever, a bunch of other movies that he's been in like the last 10 years, it's just been like, wow, man. Like, it's, I mean, like, look, get your paper, get your work, but goodness, bro. Like, in the bad thing is, and I don't know, like, if you guys knew, but if you guys have potentially seen how far John Travolta has fallen in comparison.
I mean, come on now. The man did Battlefield Earth, which I'm still actually trying to find on Blu-ray.
I mean, but dude, have you heard about the new movie that he's in, The Fanatic?
Actually, people said that movie gets a bad rap. So,
dude, people are saying that movie is The New Room.
I understand,
and I've seen clips of it, and it's just like, wow.
But here's the thing: by that same token, you could grab clips of any movie, and out of context, it might be bad. I'm not saying that movie is good. I'm just saying, you know, the man already did Battlefield Earth. How much lower can you go?
Right.
Pretty low, I'm pretty sure.
So we'll see. I mean, you know, again, I give John Travolta credit because he did Pulp Fiction. So, and he did Swordfish.
He did. I mean, he did. It's not, I mean, I'm not gonna say the man never had good roles, because obviously he did, but. Right. I'm just saying, like, the last 10, 15 years been a little rough.
I got you. That file that I put into both the YouTube and Facebook chats is the main reason I can't take Nick Cage serious. So just to let y'all know.
Sharita playing now. She just put Zoe Saldana and Lupita
Nyong'o. Come on. Stop it,
Sharita.
Stop it. Stop it.
She's trying to get Zoe in trouble for darkening her skin again.
Right.
Nina did we not learn from the Nina Simone biopic? Like, stop it. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do this.
Right.
Daniel Craig and somebody.
Daniel Craig and somebody?
Yeah, I don't know who the other somebody would be. You know. I'm sure there's somebody you could match. You match them up with somebody.
Kind of hard to, like, I don't know, like, Dan Craig, like, just stands out too much. It's hard to compare him to anyone.
Right.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know, like, it just makes me, I'm just, I don't know. Hopefully it just goes the way of the Crow remake that they were trying to make and just disappears.
Right. Yeah, I know, right?
Here's the thing, though. I was actually recently watching a video about the Crow City of Angels. You know, the second one that most people kind of
the wild, crazy one.
Here's the thing, though. They said that the director's vision of that and what he actually filmed before the studio got involved and the Weinstein got involved and cut it to shreds was actually really good. So I was like, but unfortunately, there's no way to get that actual version anywhere. Right. Because even the Blu-ray says it's the Blu-ray and the DVD release said that they're the quote unquote director's cut, even though they're not. I'm like, that's messed up.
Wait, they're not?
Yeah, it says on their director's cut, but that's really just the studio's cut.
Wow.
They added like I think 10 minutes or something, but that's not the director's like version.
I mean, from what I remember about the movie, I'm not really sure what more you can add to it that does not. I mean. Granted, some director's cuts can improve a movie, like Daredevil. The director's cut of that actually improved the movie quite a bit.
Y'all be holding on to Daredevil. That's y'all one, man. That's y'all's Rocky Marciano.
I did not like the movie when it first came out. When I watched it again with the director's cut, it actually improved the movie somewhat.
That's y'all Rocky Marciano. That's y'all's Rocky Marciano. That's all that is. Because all that so-called director's cut added was one scene. It added the one courtroom scene with Coolio.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That director's cut is not as good as y'all think it is.
Also him and Foggy going and kind of like, you know, investigating a little bit and kind of trying to find some evidence that linked the Kingpin to his crime. So there was that.
You're reaching. You're reaching quite far, my friend. Because I have that director's cut, and I have the original release. And damn it, that courtroom scene with Coolio and that a little bit of extra fight, you know, stuff that they added is not enough. That movie is not improved.
I mean,
as much as y'all liked it.
Honestly, the fighting choreography in that movie really wasn't good.
So, most of that movie wasn't good to me.
No, like I agree with you. Most of it wasn't, but I just think like if you kind of like look at it as its own thing, and instead of trying to ride the wave of Spider-Man, which of course you know that's what they were trying to do, and it's just like, okay, it seems like there could have been a competent movie there, but you know, I mean, honestly, I know like folks kind of harp on Bullseye, but I actually like Colin Farrell's Bullseye. But you know, like
I did too, but I just felt like, you know, largely Daredevil was kind of a waste.
It was,
and I don't necessarily blame Ben Affleck. I blame more the writer and the director of that film. So that's just me. But anyway, guys. Yeah, I know. But anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show and get out of here. Great Dadakuji and both GQ are going to be traveling, so we wish them safe travels. They'll be back with us next week, and we hope that you will also join us next week, right here next week, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. See, I always get that mixed up somehow. Anyway,
yes.
We hope you all have fantastic weeks. So next week will be. Make sure you pay attention right here on our Facebook fan channel, and also on the revitalized CultureJunkies.net for what's coming up next. From all of us here at Culture Junkies, from my friends, the Great Dadakuji, GQ, Fallen Marvel, and Super Nerd Plus, I'm Kashira. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week.
Later.
Take.